Welcome to the April TBR. I am having issues with words today, so let's see if I can get through this. It's a simple video. It's just going to talk about books I'm going to read. I think part of the problem is I don't know a lot about these books, and I don't know if they're going to work or not, but I'm full of optimism. Just endless optimism that this is all going to work out, even though I for sure have too many obligations and not enough room for mood reads, but there's a lot of genre diversity, I think, and potential for new favorites and the start of really fun buddy read adventures, right? Like, that's what I'm hoping for this month. And I'm excited. So let's get into it, starting with my local book club read. Every month I moderate my local book club, and this month we are doing A School for Good Mothers. Is that what it's called? Yeah, The School for Good Mothers. And I don't really know what genre this is. I am assuming it's just general fiction that maybe is near future, that has dystopian adjacent vibes. Like, I'm thinking maybe 1984, Handmaid's Tale, that sort of thing, but I don't know how literary it is. I don't know if it's literary or general fiction. I have no clue. I know the main character is, I think, a daughter of Chinese immigrants, and she's never lived up to their expectations. And I think the flap of the book said that her husband won't leave his mistress. And I guess they have a kid still. And once she has this kid, once she has the identity of mother, she is suddenly considered perfect. But we're in this, like, kind of pseudo Big Brother society where people are keeping track of who's being a good parent, you know, really micromanaging what is good parenting. And I guess she fails one day, and now she goes to the School for Good Mothers, or has to prove that she is a good mother and redeemable to be back with her daughter. That's all I know. It could be really interesting. It could fall really flat. Here's hoping. I hope it's at least good for discussion, because we sit for 45 minutes to an hour discussing a book each month, and I'm just hoping it's good for that. Another read-along that I'm continuing with is the Red Rising read-along. This month, we're having a live show on my channel, and it's Morningstar, the third book. I think my favorite book. I don't remember. They all blend together. I read the first three in very short succession, so who knows? I just remember I wasn't expecting the beginning of this book, and I enjoyed the conclusion of it, and yeah, those are all the feelings I have. I don't have very specific plot moments. There's 4 moments that I remember in this book from my first read, 5 or how many years ago? Was it 5 years ago? I think it was 5 years ago that I read this book. So Alex, Leanna, and I are going to be reading this. We do have live shows for the first 2 if you want to catch up, and the giveaway for the Golden Sun live show is open until we do the Morningstar live show. So if you want to be involved with the giveaway, watch that live show. There's a pinned comment with instructions on how to enter, and you have till the end of this month, presumably. That's when we're going to talk about Morningstar. So that's an exciting read-along that's still happening. We are starting a read-along in my Patreon. We're starting with Velocity Weapon. This is the first book in a trilogy. I believe a space adventure, sci-fi sort of trilogy. Maybe it's space opera. I don't know if it's space opera. Granted, I'm bad at definitions of subgenres, but there are spaceships, and I think it's plot-based adventure with really good character development. Like, when I talked about this on Tuesday in my series wrap-up, all the comments were people being like, oh, I read that book and read the entire series, I love it. And other people who, know my tastes from watching my videos being like, oh, you're gonna love it. That's your perfect blend of, character and adventure. And I'm like, I'm hoping people are right. I'm really hoping, especially because Empire of Silence was such a failure. So here's hoping. This way, at least, it's only 3 books. So yeah, that's what we're starting in April. That's our buddy read there. And then they always get to vote for a book for me to read. I gave them 3 options because it's almost Hugo nomination time. I think it ends at the end of April. And I was thinking, it'd be good to read one more 2022 release. I've read over 30, but, squeeze one more in that I hadn't gotten to. And so I gave 3 options. And the one that I'm going to read only won by 2 votes, and that's The Book Eaters. And I have been wanting to read this. I actually had it out from the library in November before my slump hit me in the face. And I believe this is also a commentary on motherhood, not necessarily if you are a good mother, but the sacrifices you make for your children and how protective you can be and things like that. I think this is supposed to be a darker speculative work. I don't think it really falls into any genre fiction category trope-wise that we're used to. And basically there are these people, I think, who can consume books for some reason, but then there are people who can consume people's brains or something. I don't know. There's interesting cultural stuff happening here, and essentially the mother has a kid who is the bad type of whatever exists in this world, and we are following them. And I read the first couple pages in a bookstore, and I was really invested and interested in this. And I have had friends read this and find it really compelling. So I'm excited that this is the one that was chosen, because this could be like a hidden gem 5-star for me in terms of like I haven't prioritized it. It's not normally like the thing I gravitate towards. So I'm excited. The runner-up I will mention because I might read it, because I figure it was so close. I'm at least going to try a chapter or two of it, like give it 20 to 30 pages, and if I'm hooked, read that this month, and that is Leech. This is a sci-fi horror that came out last year. I believe there's like this kind of sort of symbiotic process. There's like this parasite that can exist within people. I don't know how consensual it is. I don't have a real sense of the world building, obviously, from like what I heard in reviews when I did this, but a character has died and we are solving the murder of that character, and that character had one of these parasites. So the world building is really what draws me to this, and I think it's a compelling debut. I think it's a debut. And so that's what draws me to it. Also, horror tends to work well for me when I can like squeeze it in there. Like if I add a horror into my TBR or something horror adjacent, that usually really lends itself to a good momentum reading month. So I don't mind at least giving it a shot, you know, and like if I give it a shot and I'm like, oh, I do like this, but I just can't squeeze it in right now, I'll know to prioritize it later, or I know if it wasn't going to be for me, right? Win-win either way. Another buddy read is Universal Love. This is a short story collection that Evie got me, and we read I think his first published short story collection last year around this time, so this is the most recently published one? I don't really know. And they are sci-fi short stories. I found his writing style incredibly readable when I read his short story collection last year, so I'm hoping that this is that plus even more. You know, he's a more seasoned writer now. I'm curious where his mind has gone, what he's going to play around with. And it's a buddy read, not only with Evie, but one other person that I'm sorry I'm blanking on your name. My brain is mush these days. But I'm excited to buddy read this with people. And it should lead to great discussions. As I always say, I love reading short stories and discussing them with people. And my other buddy read, like I said, a month of buddy reads and read-alongs and everything. Wall of Storms by Ken Liu. I read Grace of Kings summer of last year, and I have on so many TBRs put Wall of Storms, and it's a big book, and it just hasn't happened. And it's happening. I even own this on Kindle. Like, I'm not even getting this from the library. It is on my Kindle ready at any moment for me to pick up. And it's happening. Buddy read with friends. Evie is another one of them. Brittany. I'm just so excited. I hope I love it as much as everyone else does, because so many people really like this book. I hope it's not a Jade War situation. If you don't know, I love the Greenbone Saga, first of all. It's always, like, behind me. I adore that series. I think Jade Legacy is one of my favorite series enders of all time. But when I first picked up Greenbone Saga, everyone was like, oh my god, Jade War, it's the best thing ever. And I like Jade City a lot more than Jade War. So I was a little disappointing. So I'm hoping that's not the case here, because I really liked Grace of Kings. It wasn't like a 5-star experience, but I really liked it. And so I'm hoping to get at least that experience, if not a little bit more, with Wall of Storms as we continue on. I think there are children, like the next generation's a little involved. I like the project of the Dandelion Dynasty, and I really want to sink my teeth into it more, essentially. That's where I'm at. And then I think, is this the last obligation read? Yes, this is the last obligation read. I am reading Shards of Honor, and actually I have a really classic old school edition from my library right here, if you guys want to see. But we are going to be buddy reading this in my public Discord, and this is the first book in a really, really still going sci-fi series. Like, this came out in the 80s. And I know Cordelia's in this, and apparently Cordelia's awesome. I think she's more of a supporting character in later entries in the world, but I think the main character in the next two, and I know Laura told me that this might be more romantically driven than I was expecting, which I'm okay with if it's done well. I just want to find a never-ending sci-fi series to love that is also like a pulpy fun time, and I think this is pulpy. I feel like that was another thing people were mentioning when I brought it up on Tuesday. And, like, let's see, I don't know, I love those things, but when they have to, like, work for me perfectly, and sometimes that's really hard to find. Like, I don't know. Last year, I tried Foreigner. That didn't really work for me. It's also, I don't think pulpy. Foreigner itself was so closely connected to A Memory Called Empire, which I love so much more, that it was really difficult for me, so I just never continued on with that series. But here's hoping to have better luck with this one. And then the only other thing that I'm putting on my TBR is, like, I'm going to get to this. It's happening. Or at least I'm going to open the PDF. And that is The Secret Project #2 by Brandon Sanderson. I did look up the title. And guess what? I still don't know what the book's about. No, I mean, I looked it up because when I was thinking about potentially doing the magical readathon, you know, there are prompts that have to do with titles. So I'm like, well, I guess I should know what the title of this book is. I'm curious about what it might be. I know this is like a not Cosmere one. So we'll see. Sometimes when Sanderson's outside the Cosmere, I have a really fun time. He's done a lot of stuff like Legion I really liked, and then there was like a shorter sci-fi short story that I had fun with. What was it called? Snapshot, I think I had fun with. So if it's fun like that, I'll have a good time. And if I don't like it, I'll stop reading it. I will let myself do that. And maybe one of these days I will get one of these books in these book boxes. It hasn't happened yet. And that's the TBR. As it currently stands, I would love to squeeze in some other things, but here's the thing. I started Witcher 3. That takes up an amount of my time. I have a lot of fun playing that. I'm also rewatching Smallville. And again, that also takes up an amount of my time. And not only am I watching Smallville, but I'm listening to the podcast Talkville that goes along with it. And that takes up a lot of my audiobook time. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I get to squeeze something else in. If I end up having really good momentum, there's a part of me that's like, you can do a Malazan book this month. And I'm just like, Angela, you have so many thick books. What are you doing? We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Like, I'm really embracing this year, trying to respect when I want to read and when I want to stare off into space. Because I think, personally, I don't give myself enough stare off into space time. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's good to have that. Good to have I'm just sitting here and I'm not doing anything. I don't do that often enough, and I'm doing more of that this year, and I think it's healthy. Anyways, let me know what you're reading. Are you going to be joining me on any of these buddy reads? There are so many, and most of them are open to a larger group of people, so let me know if you're interested, especially with Shards of Honor. That could be a real fun time, and it's not that long. It's not that long. It looks pretty fun. We might be reading the second book as well if I get on with it. Well, other people probably will because they love it, but I might read the second one as well if I get on with this first one. Anyways, if you want to leave an emoji, I don't know. I have a lot of books in front of me. I have no clue. Shards of Honor. I don't know if there's anything on this. This is the weirdest cover I have. It has bubbles. Is bubbles an emoji? I'm gonna leave you with bubbles or shards. Best of luck. And let me know, like I said, what you plan to read, consume this coming month. And otherwise, if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.